All right, all I need is one vote, right? Come on in, pal. This could be a big moment for you.
We can no longer allow a white nationalist to be in the White House.
I can talk to those white women in the suburbs that voted for Trump and explain to them what white privilege actually is. That when their son is walking down a street with a bag of M&Ms in his pocket, wearing a hoodie, his whiteness is what protects him from not being shot.
We need to do everything we can to start moving the climate in the right direction, but we also need to start moving our people to higher ground.
Would there be any place for fossil fuels, including coal and fracking, in a Biden administration?
No, we would work it out. We would make sure it's eliminated.
So the first thing that I'm going to do when I'm president is I'm going to Clorox the Oval Office.
We lost the state of Michigan because everybody from Republicans to Russians were targeting the suppression of African-American voters.
There is no bigger loser in political life than one Chris Christie anywhere. And Michelle Obama is the biggest winner. There is no bigger loser in political life than one Chris Christie anywhere. And Michelle Obama is the biggest winner.
The president said that we will fly our flags at half-mast until August 8th. That's 8/8. Now, I'm not going to imply that he did this deliberately, but I am using it as an example of the ignorance of the adversary that's being demonstrated by the White House. The numbers 8/8 are very significant in neo-Nazi and white supremacy movement. Why? Because the letter H is the 8th letter of the alphabet. And to them, the numbers 8/8 together stand for Heil Hitler. So we're going to be raising the flag back up at dusk on 8/8.
Nazis come off our streets! 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 Don't fucking touch me! Don't fucking touch me! Nazis come off our streets! Nazis come!
Republican members of the Electoral College, this message is for you. As you know, our founding fathers built the Electoral College to safeguard the American people from the dangers of a demagogue and to ensure that the presidency only goes to someone who is to an eminent degree endowed with the requisite qualifications.
An eminent degree. Someone who is highly qualified for the job.
The Electoral College was created specifically to prevent an unfit candidate from becoming president.
There are 538 members of the Electoral College. You
and just 36 other conscientious Republican electors can make a difference.
By voting your conscience on December 19th.
And thereby shaping the future of our nation.
I'm not asking you to vote for Hillary Clinton.
I'm not asking you to vote for Hillary Clinton.
I'm not asking you to vote for Hillary Clinton.
As you know, the Constitution gives electors the right to vote for any eligible person.
Any eligible person, no matter which party they belong to.
But it should certainly be someone you consider especially competent.
Especially competent to serve as President of the United States of America.
By voting your conscience, you and other brave Republican electors can give the House of Representatives the option to select a qualified candidate for the presidency.
I stand with you.
I stand with you.
I stand with you.
I stand with you in support and solidarity with conservatives, independents, and liberals.
And all citizens of the United States.
The American people trust that your voice speaks for us all.
And that you will make yourself heard through the constitutional responsibility granted to you by Alexander Hamilton himself.
What is evident is that Donald Trump lacks more than the qualifications to be president.
He lacks the necessary stability.
And clearly the respect for the Constitution of our great nation.
You have the position,
the authority,
and the opportunity to go down in the books as an American hero
who changed the course of history.
And you have my respect.
You have my respect.
You have my respect.
For your patriotism.
And service to the American people. Unite for America.
Raise your hand if your government plan would provide coverage for undocumented immigrants.
He's still processing the raw emotions.
I think that what people need to hear is just the truth. It's just the truth. You know, at first it was a thing of like, listen, if I tell the truth, then that's it, because it's the truth. Mm-hmm. then it became a thing of like, oh, how can you doubt that? Like, how do you not believe that? It's the truth. And then it became a thing of like, oh, it's not necessarily that you don't believe that this is the truth. You don't even want to see the truth. And that says a lot about the place that we are in our country right now. The fact that we have these fear mongers, these people that are trying to separate us, and it's just not okay. It's just not okay. And for all of the people, the next time that you see someone report something, maybe well after the fact that it happened, and you say to them, well, why you wait until now? Just remember that mine was reported right away. And look what has happened. The letter. Absolutely. Just because on the letter it had a stick figure hanging from a tree with a gun pointing towards it, with the words that said, Smollett Jussie, you will die, black. There was no address, but the return address said in big red, like caps, MAGA. Did I make that up too? I have fought for love. I'm an advocate. I respect too much the people who I am now one of those people who have been attacked in any way. You do such a disservice when you lie about things like this. I still want to believe, with everything that has happened, that there's something called justice. Because if I stop believing that, then what's it all for?
Dagegen werden und müssen wir uns stellen in diesem Hause. Und das werden wir auch hinbekommen, meine Damen und Herren. Denn sonst ist diese Gesellschaft nicht mehr das, was sie glauben.
Okay, whatever. I want to talk to the people that are concerned enough with humanity to say that we should not, that never again means something. And that the fact that concentration camps are now an institutionalized practice in the home of the free is extraordinarily disturbing. A presidency that creates concentration camps is fascist. And it's very difficult to say that because it is very difficult to accept the fact that that is how bad things have gotten. But that is how bad things have gotten.
My concern is doing away with whiteness. Whiteness is a form of racial oppression, sure. The suggestion is that it is somehow possible to separate whiteness from oppression, and it is not. There can be no white race without the phenomenon of white supremacy. Treason to whiteness is loyalty to humanity.
In DC, it's like so weird. It's like everybody is like a spy. Like, it's so bizarre. It's like you could go out to get a cup of coffee and the person that's like sitting at a table in the corner of the restaurant is like, then they go and like they text all their friends that they saw so-and-so at this cafe, and it's like triangulation. And it's super weird. It's just like super weird. So
I'm not making any predictions, but I think they've got their eye on somebody who's currently in the Democratic primary and are grooming her to be the third-party candidate. She's the favorite of the Russians. They have a bunch of, sites and bots and other ways of supporting her so far. And that's assuming Jill Stein will give it up, which she might not, because she's also a Russian asset.
Was he in a mental hospital or not in 1990? You allege that he was. Was he or wasn't he? He wasn't.
Can I mean, Tucker, if you don't want me to answer the question,
I'm asking you the question. Was he in a mental hospital in 1990
But I would
or
like to answer the question. You've made an accusation. Let me answer.
No, I read your tweet.
So would you like me to answer the question or not? If the answer is no, say so.
Please
but
succinctly
don't
answer the question.
pretend you
You're
want an
filibustering with
answer
this
if you
weirdness.
won't let me answer the question.
Okay.
Do you want me to
Go
answer
ahead.
the question or not? Just give me a yes or no. Do you want me to answer the question?
Yeah, I want you to answer this question. Was he in a mental hospital in 1990, as you alleged, or was he not?
Let me answer the question.
Go ahead.
Look, you're not fooling anybody. You're trying to stop me from giving the answer. So let me give you the answer.
This is a little nutty. I got to be honest. I'm asking you a very
I've also noticed earlier this week you take people off the air when you don't like what they're saying. So let's keep me on the air. Let's finish this. You're making accusations against me. I have the right to respond.
I'm reading what you wrote. You described Trump as a, quote, paranoid, unstable man.
Nobody is getting fooled by this. You're not letting me answer the question.
Okay.
So
I think
let's
that
go
you're humiliating yourself by your unwillingness to answer a simple question. So please answer it.
I am trying to answer the
question.
Do you have evidence he was in a mental hospital in 1990, your world, reality is not always able to give you a yes or no answer. If you don't, look how much time we are wasting with me trying to say, let me answer your question.
I think you may be coming undone for it. How about this? I'm going to give you 30 seconds to answer this question. Do you have evidence that he was institutionalized in a mental hospital in 1990? 30 seconds.
Now, okay, I will say this, because it's a message I've got from people from the CIA. I know a lot of officers. I know a lot of agents. I've been in their homes, and they're really delivering this to you and to Donald Trump. These are people who have sacrificed a lot for this country. They go through into the CIA every day. They walk past that wall with 117
I get it. What's the
black
message?
stars. If you're going to say that we can't talk about the fact that there are 117 patriots whose lives have been lost serving this country, that's fine.
I'm starting to have concerns about you, Kurt.
Right now,
tell me what
we have
the secret
people in
message from the
Russia
CIA is.
who are putting their lives on the line, who are to be sources of information for the CIA. That information is coming in. That information is then being put together by analysts who are not well paid, and they do very hard work, and they do it because they are
I'm sorry, we're
patriots.
out of time, Kurt, and I don't mean this in a cruel way. I would have real concerns if I were one of your editors, and I mean that. I'm not calling anyone a liar, but I am saying I'm concerned about your behavior on this show tonight. But thanks a lot for joining us.
That's because you won't let me answer your question.